I wish you'd ask the question differently. Why don't you say it's gotten off to a tremendous start, but there are some little glitches, which, by the way, have been worked out. It would be so much nicer if you do that. But you're just incapable of asking a question in a positive way. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Paycheck Protection Program has gotten off to a confusing start for small businesses.
I don't think so. I think it's done very well.
Wells Fargo has stopped taking applications. Bank of America
not anymore. They haven't
prioritized taking applications from clients that were already
Bank
borrowers.
of America has been the leader, taking tremendous numbers of applications. And, of course, there may have been, they wanted to have a slightly different application. They wanted to have a little different information. But Bank of America has been a leader. They're number one in terms of applications. I wish you'd ask the question differently. Why don't you say it's gotten off to a tremendous start, but there are some little glitches, which, by the way, have been worked out. It would be so much nicer if you do that. But you're just incapable of asking a question in a positive way.
Is the federal government
it's already done. It's already done.
Ensure that there is
it's taken the measures. It's taken the measures. And we may even do a different system. Not with this. We're going to have to probably add more money to this to save and to keep our small businesses going and to keep the employees of those small businesses working. But it's such a positive event, and you ask it in such a negative way. It just, I wish we had a fair media in this country, and we really don't. Speaking of unfair, go ahead. Please, behind you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yesterday, why did you publicly threaten quarantine on New York, New Jersey, parts of Connecticut?
I didn't do that at all. Read the statement. Read the statement. Read what I said. I said we're going to look into possibly quarantine. I didn't say we're going to quarantine. I looked at it as a possibility, because a lot of our professionals suggested quarantine. I said, we're going to look at it. We then looked at it. You see? Who are you with? Bloomberg, right? I can't imagine that. Let me just tell you, I didn't threaten it. I don't go around threatening. What happened is people, professionals, very good professionals, love the idea of doing that, because that's sort of the ultimate in distancing. You can't do. They didn't want New Yorkers, where they're having a problem, necessarily going down to Florida, where they have less of a problem.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have two questions. The first is, you've said repeatedly that you think that some of the equipment that governors are requesting, they don't actually need. You said New York might not need 30,000. You said it on Sean Hannity's Fox News. You said
that
why
don't you people act? Let me ask you.
You said why
don't you act in a little more positive? It's always trying to
get question to you.
Get you. And you know what? That's why nobody trusts the media anymore.
My question to you is, how is that going to impact?
Excuse me, you didn't hear me. That's why you used to work for the Times and now you work for somebody else. Look, let me tell you something. Be nice.
You were talking about governors of different states, and you said, I want them to be appreciative. You also said, if they don't treat you right, I don't call. These are direct quotes, sir.
Excuse me. Ready? Take a look at what I said. I want them to be appreciative of me, okay? And then you cut it off because it's fake news.
You and of your administration,
Listen,
absolutely.
Please, let me just finish it. You just said it again, and you know the answer's a lie. You know that
I could read you your full comments, sir.
Let me just say, look, your statement and your response and your answer is a lie. Because here's the story. You ready? I said, I want you to be appreciative of me, and then you go on, and then I go on, and you cut it off. But it says,
you said,
because
I
when
want
you're
them
not,
to be appreciative. I don't want them to say things that aren't true. I want them to be appreciative. We've done a great job. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Mike Pence, the task force. I'm talking about
Thank
FEMA.
You.
Mr. President, my second question.
That's enough. Thank you very much. Please. That's enough. That's enough. That's not fair to your other reporters. It's not fair. You had a long time, a long question. If we have time, I'll get back to you for your second question. Is that okay? All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
What do you say to
Well,
these
I've read that CNN doesn't want to cover them. I've read that, except they can't help them because the ratings are so high. If the ratings were low, they wouldn't be here. This man wouldn't be here. In 100 years, you could bet your life that he would never be here with CNN and all their cameras if they're bad, because we help their ratings. We lift up their ratings because their ratings are very low. If they don't want to watch, they shouldn't watch. And we shouldn't have bigger ratings than The Bachelor. Have you noticed any sniffles? Nothing, right?